The Louisiana music scene has always had a distinct influence on a variety of musical genres. Southern blues, in particular, dates back more than 70 years and is constantly evolving and inspiring music artists as they discover that blues is the root of many of today's modern musical sounds.
About 6 years old, I got an uncle gave me a guitar and it had like 2 strings on it. And I moved up after about 2 years to 6. Eventually, I got like a real guitar, and when I was about, I guess, about 12. And then I had like a legitimate instrument, and I played from then on. When I was kind of getting started with all this stuff, we didn't have the internet and any of that. We didn't even have FM. We had a radio station that would come on at about midnight from Little Rock, and we would pick it up, and that's where we would hear all the old guys like Leslie Weston Mountain and of course Hendrix and all that stuff. So we had to get it from there because it just really wasn't around here then, and I kind of got it from there. I think everybody puts their own flavor in. I think the whole Louisiana thing is very near. If you went back to the older blues and the older music, the accordion simply took the place of the harmonica. There's guys out there right now that are really doing great things. Tab Benoit being one of them. Earlier on, it was really close, and there was a big push. I would say back in the '70s when Clifton Chenier was out, and he was doing. It was very much like a Delta blues kind of thing, except of course he was using piano accordion. I was doing a lot of writing for other people, and one day I was talking to my wife, and I said, you ought to do something. You ought to do your own. You've been doing stuff for other people for so long. And then an old friend of mine that that does session work and does recording in Nashville, he called me up, just a strange coincidence, and he said, man, we need to do this thing. And he kind of introduced me to just everybody doing it at home. And so basically what ended up happening is he cut things in Nashville and I cut things here, and we had other people that cut. I had a couple sax players. One, I think he was in Seattle, and one was in, I think, West Virginia. I mean, we had people spread all over the United States, and it was the coolest thing because basically we would cut apart, and we would send this off to this guy, and he would do this thing, and it would all go back to my friend, and he just put it all together, and that's kind of how it ended up. I mean, it's like a joint effort. What started 3 years earlier really took off the 3rd year, and it was actually complete in the 3rd year. It's breaking, yeah, yeah. It's just a feeling. It really comes down to you feed it. Rather it feeds you. It kind of gets you up, and a lot of times you'll do things live that you probably wouldn't take on in the studio because your adrenaline's up and you're pumped, and music stirs up emotions, and it can just light up something that you might have been feeling, and it'll just kind of bring it to light. The particular note or the particular verse will strike a nerve with non-musicians.
Discover the roots of today's modern music through the soulful sound of traditional Southern blues.